Okay, in this video I'm going to cover how to install the MySQL Workbench. So I'm going to go ahead and open my browser. In this case I'm using Microsoft Edge, not that that matters, but alright, so I'm just going to Google here MySQL Workbench. There you go. Okay, so there's the MySQL Workbench official site. I'm going to go ahead and click that. Alright, so MySQL Workbench 6.3. I'm going to go click download now. Okay, so there's the download. It goes over the prerequisites such as running. So this is for Windows computers to be able, and I'm using Windows 10 right now. All right, so to be able to run MySQL Workbench in in Windows, you have to have the libraries installed. Okay, can let's go ahead and click Microsoft.NET Framework 4.5. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and click download. Okay, so I'm gonna save that. It's a small file. Okay, there you go. So it's finished downloading. Let me click back. More. Okay. So so now that we're back to this page, let me go ahead and run that Microsoft.NET Framework 4.5. Okay, yes. Okay, so seems your installation will not occur. All right, so we got, it says here, Microsoft 4.5 is already part of my operating system, so that's good. Same or higher version of .NET Framework 4.5 has been already installed in the computer. Okay, so seems like my operating system already has the .NET Framework, so I'm gonna just gonna go ahead and click close. Yours might be a little different. Depends on what the tool will detect in your computer. So just follow the prompts. Basically, if it asks you to install, to proceed and install it, so just go ahead and install it. In my case, I don't need it, so I'm gonna close this one and I'm gonna go ahead here and click on Visual C++ Redistributable for Visual Studio 2015. Okay, so this brings me to the download page. I'm gonna go ahead and click download. All right, so I have 64-bit Windows 10. I know that when I right-click the Start button and I go click on System, this again I'm using Windows 10, and it will say here in about a couple of seconds. There you go. Um, okay, so it's a 64-bit operating system, 64-bit processor. Okay, so therefore I'm gonna download the 64-bit version of this redistributable. Okay. Now, if you want, you can also download the x86. It's not gonna be a problem if you have both installations. So you know what? I'm gonna check both. All right. Click next. Okay, it's downloading. All right, so I'm gonna save this. This is the x86. I'm gonna go ahead, and then this is for the x64. I'm gonna go ahead and save that. So, well, it seems like both are done. Okay, let me run the 64-bit version first. Okay, agree to the license terms. Install. Yes, make the change. Okay, setup successful. Okay, that's good. Can close that now. Now, just to be sure, I'm going to run the x86 version. I'm going to click run. Okay, this is for the x86. Agree. Install. Okay, it failed. Another version of this product is already installed. Okay, so that's fine. All right, so I don't need it as it says here. So I'm gonna go click close, and I should be set. So let me go back and one more back. Should bring me to the Workbench download page. So I got these two libraries installed. I mean, technically I could restart my computer, just to be sure everything's running fine. In fact, let me do that just to be on the safe side. Oops. Alright, so restart. Okay. Okay, so now that I'm back, I'm gonna go click here to log in. Okay, so just waiting for the computer to finish its startup. Okay, seems like everything's good. Alright, so let me go open my browser and Google MySQL Workbench. Okay, so I'm gonna click download now and scroll down. Okay, so alright, so this is just to learn more, yada yada yada. And now we have the generally available releases. So we got MySQL Workbench 6.3.10. Okay, we got it available for different operating systems. I'm going to select Windows, of course. I'm using Windows right now. Okay, this is other downloads, MySQL installer. Let me see. I can click on download. This is the in other downloads. Okay. This one, MySQL installer for Windows. This will let you install a variety of products from MySQL. So you can opt for that, but I just want to install the Workbench, so I'm gonna use this option here. Other downloads. Click download. Okay, so I don't want to log in or sign up, so I'm just gonna click no thanks. Just start my download. Okay, save it in my downloads folder. Okay, now that it's finished downloading, I'm gonna go ahead and run it. Okay, so this is the now that we have the wizard setup wizard running, I can close this browser. So we don't need this. Oops, do that again. Okay, so back here, click next. Okay, so the default folder is fine. I don't need to mess with that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and click next. Okay, I want complete. Okay, click next. Just to confirm. Okay, that's perfect. So click install. Alright, you know what? Yes. So let's just wait for the installation to finish. Okay, so now the installation is done. I'm gonna go, um, well, I don't want to launch the workbench. Reason being is, for you to use the workbench, you have to run MySQL first. So I'm gonna uncheck launch the workbench and just click finish. Okay, so I'm gonna restart my computer after installing the workbench. Okay, so I'm back in, just logging into my computer. Okay, so it looks like computer's ready, everything's started up. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and run MAMP. Okay, and the reason for running MAMP is for me to use the workbench, MySQL should be running first. So I'm gonna go and run MAMP. The funny thing about running MAMP, depending on the speed of your computer, um, might take a while, or I mean, not a long while, but it might take a few moments for it to be ready. You would know it's ready once that button is grayed out. So you can see it just got grayed out just like that. Okay. So once that's grayed out, you can go ahead and start servers. So you can start the servers by clicking this button, or you can click servers from the menu and then click start. Okay, just wait for Apache and MySQL to be running. Although we don't need Apache to test the workbench, but there's no option to just start MySQL server here in MAP. So we'll just wait. Okay, again, just waiting for MySQL server to be up and running. Apache is already up and running, so you can see by the shaded square. It's taking a little while though. So if you come across a situation like this where MySQL is taking a while, or say too long a while to start, you can try stopping all servers, quit MAMP, reopen MAMP. Okay, wait for it until it's ready, till this gets grayed out. Sometimes that'll fix the problem. Okay, so it seems like everything's good, so I'm gonna go click Start Servers. So again, I'm just waiting for the two servers to be up and running. Okay, so now the MySQL is running, so it did require starting it, stopping it, and then exiting MAMP. For some reason, it's like starting up an old car for some reason. Okay, so now that it's running, I can go and click on the start button. Okay, what's going on here? All right, so there's the workbench. I'm gonna go open that. Okay, just waiting for it to open up. Hmm, I think I ran it, right? Let's try that again. My computer's a little spooky. Or it might just be taking a while for Workbench to start. Okay, so it's MySQL, Workbench. That's the only entry there in the MySQL folder. Okay, there you go. Alright, so MySQL Workbench. So what you want to do is you want to create a connection to the MySQL server that's running. Alright, so we're going to click the plus sign to create a connection. Okay, so I'm just going to call this MAMP MySQL. Not that this matters, but you can just name it whatever you like. Connection method TCP/IP. Host name 127.0.0.1, which is the equivalent of localhost. So you can type localhost here. You can type 127.0.0.0.1. Either ways, it's the same thing. Root is the username indeed. If you installed MAMP, you should have seen that towards the end it'll say that the username for MySQL is root and the password is also root. So you can store the password in the vault if you want, so you don't have to keep typing it over and over. But pretty much that's all you need. Okay, you don't need to bother with the SSL or the advanced. So let's go ahead, click test connection, see if that works. Okay, it's gonna prompt you for the password. So I'm gonna type here root. That is the default password for that account if you installed MySQL through MAMP. Okay, click OK. Connection is successful. All right, so that's perfect. So I can go ahead and click OK to save that. So that goes in there. So once you're ready to interact with your MySQL server, you can just go and click that. Okay, it's going to open the SQL editor. And if it ever prompts you for the password, just enter the password. And again, the username is root, and password is root. But that is only for the MySQL instances installed using MAMP. Okay, so there you go. So we have MySQL up and running. The Workbench allowed us, well, now we have MySQL Workbench interfacing with our instance of MySQL. So we can go click, in fact, server status here on the left, just to see if everything is a-okay, and that indeed is true. We can see that it's running. Okay, that's perfect. So there you go. So we got a working instance of MySQL Workbench. Yeah, it did. There were some few hiccups, but it might be just specific to my computer. You may not be, you may not suffer from those little hiccups that I suffered here in this demonstration. But otherwise, everything's good. Okay, thank you.